Now then, we're back, and today I've got a bit of a faster session with the Adidas Adizero Adios 6, which are not a new shoe to the market, but as a mountain runner, trail runner, training for the Highland Fling and Manchester Marathon along the way, I thought it'd be useful for any trail runners, mountain runners that are watching this to understand what kind of shoes I would wear in a tempo or mile repeats or a fartlek session on the flat. Now for these kind of faster sessions, I wanted to kind of get away from the bigger, chunkier sole shoes with the big carbon plates and just get back down to basics, a bit more old school like I was used to 3, 4, 5 plus years ago. I'll chuck in the specifications below, but there is a slightly bigger drop than I would be maybe used to. Not too much cushioning, but a good amount of cushioning for my kind of aging legs. What is important for me and the lanes around here is having a small amount of grip, or any amount of grip is good. So the Continental grip on the Adidas shoes, pretty good for me. The first big win for me and what drawn me to them was the price. So I got these for just under £80, I think. Plus the look of them. They're not yellow, they're not pink, they're not bright white. Yeah, the foam they use, which you might be able to fact check this better than me. I think it's the same as the kind of Adidas Pro and Boston range. They're calling it a mixture of the Lightstrike and the Lightstrike Pro. I think they bill it as a kind of 5 to 10k racer, which I would go along with. Before carbon shoes, I would probably race a half marathon in them too, and even marathon. My last road marathon I ran in the old style Adidas Boston. That was 3 years ago though. What I like about doing these sessions in a non-carbon shoe is that it gives you a bit of an extra kind of level to go to on race day. So if I was to run a 10k, half marathon, and I put on my kind of carbon shoes with a bit more stack that I know that are going to give me that extra few percent, that's going to give me a big boost on race day. I don't want my best sessions or my best feeling to be left out in training. For me, this is more a comparison as to what can I run my faster sessions in, what can I run a tempo at, what can I feel good in, what is going to feel light and responsive. And for the price, like I said, under £80, these have been amazing. So what I'm going to do is take them out onto the run. I've got mile off, mile on, repeat. Minimum of 6, maximum of 8. That's the kind of flexibility I've got in the plan at the moment. So let's take these shoes out. You can join me for a few miles if you like, and I will give you a bit more of a rundown on the Adidas Adizero Adios 6. So that's the warm-up, almost done. I'd love to say that I spend lots of time doing my drills and stuff like that, but in reality, we're a bit pushed for time today. So 5-6 minutes of easy running. I'm just going to do a few strides down here, 3 or 4, kind of 50 meters worth of strides each time, and then I'll go into my set. So 10-15 minutes worth of warming up. Easy stuff before the first kind of marathon mile. I'm glad that's done. There wasn't too much footage to be had actually, because the wind was up, and I take the GoPro rather than this slightly better camera. I'm not risking taking this camera out on a faster run, which means I couldn't really talk you through the session too much, but I did 6 times a mile at tempo. Right, so that's that session in the bag. I did 6 by a mile at tempo, kind of marathon effort, I guess you'd call it. It's very difficult because when I run at marathon effort at the moment, it's not where I've kind of been in the past, but I have to remember that that was 3 years ago when I trained specifically for a marathon. So the pace is just not going to be exactly the same. Well, it's not the same, but it's not too bad. But what I was doing is kind of a mile on at tempo and then a kilometre off. So I know that will drive some of you crazy, but that's just the kind of easier effort that I like to put in. I don't want a full mile rest, so kilometre works, and I can easily put it into the watch. As for the shoes, yeah, they just remind me of running back in the old days really. So there's not much fuss about them. They're well structured. They don't feel like they're too kind of spongy like some of them do. They're quite a snug fit if you're thinking about fit, and the tongue is very thin. They're really well put together. I like the foam. It's not like the P-backs that Nike use. That's kind of gold standard at the moment. But I like the foam. It's got a good level of responsiveness, I guess you'd call it. I wouldn't like to run a slower session in them. I don't think they're a shoe for easy runs and recovery. They feel better when you're running at some kind of speed, and that's relative to you. So if you've got the leg turnover and the kind of low contact time, I think you'll feel quite good in them. If you like a shoe that has kind of come about in the last few years with a bigger stack, more cushion and the carbon plate, then it's going to feel completely different. Like I said, that's probably over 60 miles in them now, so 100 kilometres, and they've been for specific sessions. I find them pretty breathable. I like the upper, the mesh of them. And yeah, if carbon hadn't come along and Nike hadn't changed the game, this would be the shoe that I'd be racing in, I think. As for what's next, later in the week, I'll take it easy tomorrow, which will be Wednesday. Thursday, I've got a kind of easy session plus some hill sprints, and then Friday I might catch up with you all again because I'm going to go on a longer run, more specific to the Highland Fling, and I will talk you through some kit, some nutrition, and we'll see how far we get on that longer run. So that's it. Any questions about the Adidas Adizero Adios 6, stick them below and I'll try and clear them up for you. And thanks again for watching. 9 weeks out now to the Highland Fling. If you're running it, let me know, and I will catch you all later.